when Show, he's not able to make it into the same room as Jake Gyllenhaal.
I feel like he could have, but like he did take a chance.
Yeah, when he grabbed onto his foot, he was able to kick it off. He was lucky. So he puts himself in his little sleeping pod. I feel like at that point it's done for him. He's just in his coffin.
Yeah, almost.
And that's the part that, really freaked me out, just the way that little tendril was feeling for cracks. But we got the last three alive.
Yeah.
Dogen, Sho, Hiroyuki, the Japanese man with the ponytail.
Right.
He's kind of out of the movie for a bit while we see Jake Gyllenhaal and Rebecca. They string up Hugh's body and use him for kind of a trap.
Yeah.
They want... because now they have a good sense of where this alien is because the alien kind of swallowed one of Hugh's little sensors. So they know where he is in the ship. He's moving around. What is their plan here? To blast him out into space?
I don't think I thought they were trying to suffocate him when Hugh was alive.
Yeah, they were trying to take all the oxygen out of everything except for one.
I forgot
room.
what this plan was here, actually. I don't remember.
Here was to blast him out into space.
Was it here? If they were at a certain room?
Yeah, because they had him go over to where Hugh was.
Right.
Hugh was all strung up, so he's not going to fly anywhere.
Wasn't it back into the room where they were before, actually?
I don't know. It was
I think it was.
Well, it's in a room where they can open the door, so it's close to the, like a door.
Right. Oh, yeah. It was... Yeah, it was back in the room where they were before. They sent them back there, and I think that's when the distress call was answered, wasn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily matter what room they were in, but the distress call came, and this is when it comes out that, hey, they're not here to save us, they're here to blast us into space.
Pretty much, yeah. Which is pretty intense of a decision, but yeah.
But that alien sees this lifeboat coming and rushes out. When they open the door, he kills them.
I couldn't even see I couldn't see it. Did you? Because you saw it in IMAX. I didn't see it in IMAX. Was that really clear what the alien was doing to the other astronauts? I just saw it stretched out.
It was a quick kill. You saw blood. You saw them screaming. It was just ripping them up.
But didn't Ho get there before? Actually, Show get there before? Actually.
Yeah, poor Show. I mean,
he thought it was a distress call.
Like,
it was risky.
Oh, they're coming to save me, and it's like, no, he's just going right into the trap.
Yeah, it sucks.
But
and they tried pulling him out, and then he tried. Then he how do I say? He valiantly just basically lets as they're trying to grab him up, he just says, "No, forget it." It's that.
So I don't need to meet my daughter, because his wife gave birth while he's in space. But so they're all gone now, except for Rebecca and Jake.
Yeah,
and this is the one thing I didn't like about the film was the obvious. Only one of us can make it. Only one of us can survive. There's only enough fuel for one of us to get back to Earth.
And I hated
you need to be the one.
Because and I know what you mean there. And what I hate is that it had to been Jake Gyllenhaal's top build cast, right? But Rebecca Ferguson isn't. So, but her character decided to diminish a little bit. That's what I didn't like about her. Because she's supposed to be in command. She's basically second in command. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we're used to seeing Sigourney Weaver or like Linda Hamilton in Terminator or in other situation where women just basically take charge in this situation where she just basically her character slowly diminished a bit. It's not.
But I'm done. Like it's either going to be Rebecca or Jake, and it's like it's a trope now to have the woman take charge.
Isn't it? Yeah, it's true. You're right. Yeah, and I'm used to seeing that, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. But just you feel like she felt hopeless at some point.
Yeah.
But Jake Gyllenhaal is the one who figures out. Oh wait, we could do something about this. We could actually.
Yeah. Well, Jake Gyllenhaal seemed a little more robotic because he even says he doesn't like people. He likes it up in space. Like he seems a little more cold, a little more calculating. He's going to keep a cooler head about it.
Yeah.
Because he's not as emotional.
No, he's not. Yeah. Well, clearly with those doughy eyes, I'm just like, man, I don't trust him. But you could trust him here.
Yeah. So he's like, Rebecca, you got to go back. Oh well, he's Miranda. You got to go back to Earth. Warn them if it gets to Earth.
Yeah.
Otherwise. At least you'll be alive.
That's right. Yeah.
And he is just going to go out into space, hopefully with the alien.
Oh man! After what he saw it did to Ryan Reynolds and everybody else, you really want to be in that thing by yourself? That's insane.
Go, take a pill. If you're in space, I'm sure you have like a cyanide capsule or something.
You think? I don't know. I don't know if that's one of those protocols, but
man, even if it's not a protocol, take it from home.
No, you have Eugene from The Walking Dead construct you one.
Not hard to get a pill that's going to kill you. I mean, just take some rat poison, something. Like I don't want to die.
Rat poison is meant to kill rats, Matthew.
Yeah, you got to take a lot of it.
That's right. You got to drink so much of it, and it must taste awful.
Put a little bit of it onto your cookies every day.
It's like bleach or Javel or something.
Yeah. So, if you recall, just before we go to the very end, Rebecca cut her finger at one point. And you see a couple of droplets of blood.
That was to draw a trail, wasn't it?
Yes. And it also was a bit of a transition to the red dot, which was Calvin on the system. But they focused on it for a while, and I was thinking, is she infected now? Is the alien somehow in her? What I'm thinking is she is going to get, like, both of the pods separate. One's going to Earth, one's going out into deep space.
Right.
We're assuming Jake Gyllenhaal's going out into space with that alien, and she's going down to Earth. But I'm thinking this whole time, there's aliens. Like, this thing laid eggs somewhere. Maybe in her blood, maybe in the ship.
They didn't explore anything about reproduction with this one.
Yeah,
that'd be a whole new twist to explain that late in the film.
Yeah, because it doesn't need a counterpart necessarily to give birth. I mean, you can...
We don't know what it could do to reproduce.
Well, I mean, I don't know. But they could have easily just... It could have had eggs, and I would.
You could have laid eggs in Ryan Reynolds because it went completely inside him,
exactly,
and left him, or even
just a warm place to lay eggs.
You never know.
So I'm thinking they're going to open up this thing, and we're going to see at the very end there's like a little pod growing. There's something there, but no, they open up the pod that lands in the ocean, and we just see Jake Gyllenhaal with the alien wrapped around him.
Still on him,
huge. It's like taking over the whole inside of the ship. He's like part alien now. It's like in his body. It's pulling.
Well, it's
his
like
forehead.
webbed almost in a way.
Webbed, he's in like a cocoon of alien.
Yeah, that's what the twist is. Like you just basically. Yeah. But like before that, like so they both had to wait for each other to basically part ways. And Jake Gyllenhaal obviously his direction was to go to deep space.
Yeah,
hers to go to Earth. But she goes and hit a part of the satellite because after the space shit just was torn in half after not the rescue, but basically like
the suicide.
Those the quarantine people. Well, not quarantine, but just they basically decide to that extra measure to push him. After that happens, that crushes that cuts the ship in half, and then they decide to do what they did, and then they go and and then you realize certain the matter of what do you call it, space garbage,
space debris.
Thank you. Debris is about. I'm like space garbage,
space trash.
Just it hits one of them, and I'm thinking, wasn't that Miranda's? Isn't that the one that got hit? Okay. And but nobody reacts to it. Nobody reacts to the hit.
I thought, like, to me, I didn't even notice. Like, I saw I did notice, but I was like, well, obviously it hit something. I didn't think it changed her trajectory. Or
I thought it did. I was like, oh, it hit somebody, so it's good. It did, like, not change the trajectory, but, like, obviously made it lose control, made it go off course a bit, and it ended up doing even worse. And going even worse, and she ended up, getting lost in space, and Jake Gyllenhaal ends up being the one on Earth with that thing where it's not supposed to be.
So, horrifying ending, because the look on his face when he's down there being like realizing that he's made it to Earth, because he's probably really preoccupied with that alien killing him, so he doesn't know where he is.
He probably didn't think like, oh wait, am I going through the atmosphere? Oh wait a minute, am I not in deep space? This is not what I imagine deep space was like, right?
His doughy eyes just full of terror as these fishmongers go over and start to open the door, and he's like,
the fisherman, right? Yeah,
don't. And then you cut to. And then it's like, okay, so she's out in space. You cut to her. She realizes that she's hurtling into space, never going to be found. And she's screaming out, no. And the music is picking up, and this is just a really dark ending.
It's pretty bad. And the worst part is like when you have that zoom out, when just, you saw them trying to, the fishermen trying to help Jake Gyllenhaal, and then like you see the zoom out, and you see more fishing boats coming in.
It's
like it's going to feed
it.
And
they do open the door. They open the pod doors, and that's just where it ends.
Oh boy, it's gonna be an aquatic thing too, easily, because it swam through zero gravity so easily. Imagine with a little bit of pressure.
This thing evolves. It's gonna get wings. It's gonna get
a bit of shark teeth. It's gonna have it's gonna be the prequel to mega shark versus giant octopus.
I don't want to go that direction. But you know what? I don't think this film needs a sequel. It was good on its own. I like just the dark ending where I can't imagine this thing gets killed. I can't imagine anybody.
Kind of took the form of like a Predator, like in Predator, because it had like the mouths, kind of like And I'm just waiting for maybe when Sho saw it up close in his bed, I was waiting for him to say "You one ugly motherfucker." Just like, have like Arnold's line right there as it's opening its mouth and trying to crush it. But no,
that did bring up a good point. Something that I didn't like about this film is the Calvin cam, where we saw what Calvin sees running through the ship. It's like a greenish.
That was also
jello-y.
Yeah,
it's like you're looking. It's like, is that really Calvin's vision? Because it looks like terrible vision. I don't know how he's getting anywhere with this. And they just held on to it for so long. I'm like, I don't like this. This is cheapening the film
a little bit,
exponentially for me.
And then like it's because it kind of then like it's another throwback to Predator, because when you see Predator has like the heat ray vision, and then without it, like it's
like okay, maybe it doesn't have to have great vision. I didn't need to see that it had vision at all.
No, maybe the vision isn't what's key. It's what it feels, what it smells, what what it hears. However it hears. I don't know what.
Yeah, I just thought it
technically doesn't even have eyes.
Misstep. Well, it might. I don't know where the eyes would be.
No, me neither.
Probably not. So overall, though, I really liked it.
I love the film. It was great, and the thing is, it's a shame too, because I think they already due to the box office, Power Rangers pretty much overshadowed everything. Power Rangers basically beat Beauty and the Beast in the box office.
Beauty and the Beats?
To say Beauty and the Beats, I meant to say Beauty and the Beast.
Beats.
Beauty and the Beats. It's more like that's every Dwight Schrute's take on Beauty and the Beats.
Bears, Battlestar Galactica.
There you go. Power Rangers basically just is on top of the box office for this weekend, and life isn't even close to Beauty and the Beast either. So it's kind of becoming a bit of a flop as opposed to.
Wow, it was released at a weird time. They didn't want to release it to compete with Pirates of the Caribbean.
I think they could have been very comparable to Pirates of the Caribbean.
Tell No Tales or Alien. And that makes sense. Don't release it the same weekend as Alien.
No,
Don't
it's a similar film.
Month as Alien.
Yeah, similar film.
It was a good time for it, but it's because it's so different from Power Rangers, so different from Beauty and the Beast. It's just offering something else for people to go see.
And I just feel like the market didn't cater to it too well. But the thing is, then you have Split and Get Out. So far, we're talking about for the horror film genres. Yeah. They were different films. They came out at different separate times. Nothing else came out at the same time as they needed for them to beat out. Oh, actually, I think Get Out probably beat out some films that we.
Oh yeah, Get Out did real well.
Did very well. So I don't know. Unfortunately, the life didn't have that appeal that. I think most space movies don't have that appeal anymore. Like not the generic ones, but like not the ones without like an apparent antagonist, like Alien. We know what it is. It's Alien. People are going to go watch it because for that reason. Yeah. But or even like, but you have something like Event Horizon, or what's the Mars film called with Liev Schreiber? I forgot. Whatever.
I don't know. Eminem does the closing credits song, doesn't he?
That's how you
Ghosts of Mars or something.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. Or even Apollo 15 or something.
Pitch Black.
Yeah, we see these things. But like now you're going against my point. I'm saying these like films that they basically portray space realistically. And
Muppets in space.
Yes. Like that. Basically won't get much credit. They're always overshadowed by the things that have more of a gimmick,
Yeah.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah. I mean, this film didn't have much of a gimmick. This film was just a classic. We're in space. Alien's trying to kill us. Alien kills us.
When you put it that way, it doesn't sound that great, but it's a great film for even despite what Matthew said.
Yeah, well, you can't reinvent the wheel up there.
No, you can't. But it was great. I really enjoyed it.
And they didn't do anything about time travel.
Oh, thank God.
They didn't have to. Nobody ever mentioned we can slingshot around the satellite or we can slingshot around this planet, which is always good in my books.
Yeah.
Because that just seems like the answer for every space movie when they're running out of fuel. It's like, we'll slingshot around this. We'll use the planet's
orbit.
gravity
the orbit,
to flip us back to Earth. And it's like, that can't always work.
Yeah, no, it can't. Or even like... the air that could be used instead of the air, the pressure in your suit could be used as a way to propel you across to the other satellite or something, like in Gravity. Yeah. And it's
no. So just straight up, they weren't trying to be anything. They weren't trying to wow anybody. They just wanted to tell a nice
space movie story.
A horror film. I'll in quotations up at horror film because I'm not sure where I want to place it in my category of film, but it made it to Cringe Talk, so that's something.
That's definitely something for us, and hopefully for everybody listening.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, so I think that's it. Unless you have anything else you want to say.
No, I think I'm good. I think we've exhausted everything we need to say. It's a great film, and we definitely recommend it.
Exhausted is correct. It's a great film, and what?
And I wouldn't say recommend it because if you already watched it, you shouldn't be listening. If you haven't already watched it, you shouldn't be listening to us. So we recommend it for a second watch. I'd like to see it a second time to see the subtleties, like you said before.
Yes.
So yeah.
All right. So until next time, I'm Matt,
And I'm David.
See ya.